Hello, I'm Tactical Pascal, welcome to the channel. I hope this finds you safe and well. In this video I'm going to show you how to land the MiG-21 and also how to execute a go around when everything's not working out quite the way you want it to go. So let's get cracking. Okay, so here we are in long finals, just adjusting a little trim there. So we're at 600 kilometers an hour down in the airspeed indicator. So what I'm going to do is pull the power down a little bit and then get to about 500 kilometers an hour. When I get to 500, we're going to put the gear out. So let me just accelerate the process. I'm just going to put the the speed brake out for a moment and then bring it back in. So we're approaching 500 kilometers an hour. Gear's going to go down. We're on our long approach. And we're going to keep the runway in sight, so the runway is all the way up ahead of us, so we need to come slightly left. So we're at 450 kilometers an hour. We're going to put the flaps to the takeoff position. We're going to hold the speed around about 400 kilometers an hour as we continue our descent down towards the runway. So we've got our landing wheel brake lever, or our nose brake rather, in the horizontal position, which means we're going to be able to brake a bit quicker. Going to add a bit of power because we've slowed down there, so putting the throttles back up. And then if we can see here, we've got our landing power setting. So as we get close to the airfield itself, we're going to reduce that throttle to the landing setting. But I don't want to sink too early now. I want to be a nice steady approach down towards the runway. Again, it's quite hard to see because of the clouds, but it is there. So we're coming in for it. I do need to be aware of a tower on this map. Don't need the radar on right now. I'm going to keep going down, so speed, we're a little bit slower than I'd like to be, so we're just going to add a bit more power. When I approach at about 400 kilometers an hour, there you go, power's coming back up, and I don't want to sink towards the ground. I want to keep the runway in sight, so I'm climbing up there slightly. That's fine, we can see the runway. We're just adjusting the nose angle with the trim. So we've got our angle of attack here 10, so it's slowing us down nicely. There's that tower I talked about, passing by on the right hand side. So we're going to come off the throttle now, and then we're going to bring it down to about 350 kilometers an hour, and we're going to gently flare, power coming off, gently flare, gently flare, gently flare, let it glide, let it glide, let it glide, touchdown, pop the parachute, and bring the brakes on. Steady, steady, steady. And then we can disconnect our parachute. There it goes. And we have successfully landed the MiG-21. Okay, this example I'm going to show what to do if you've done something wrong with the flight regime. So if you're a little bit too slow, your angle of attack's wrong, something like that. So and we can see here, our airspeed has already dropped below 400 kilometers an hour. So we're so far away from the field, so it's all the way down there. And we're already too slow, so our speed's at 350. Now what I can do is try and advance the throttles, but all that's going to happen when you've got your gear down and flaps in the lowered position is as you get to that 100%, the engine's actually going to stop performing well. So all you're going to do is sink into those trees. So at the moment I've got the nose up, I'm trying to put more power on, I've advanced it forward, not gone afterburner, but I'm trying to push that power. Pushing it forward, still sinking towards the trees. Now at this point, I'm too slow. I'm still too far away, and if I pause it here, I'll zoom in. You can see where they are compared to the runway. Now all I'm going to be doing from here on in is descending into those trees. So we need to make a decision now. So with a MiG, if you are too low, like this, because you should see a much better profile of that runway, you need to bring your gear up and flaps up, and then go around. Quite simply, you're not going to make it because adding power here, you add power, gets to 100 and then it drops. You add power again, it's going up to 100 and then it's going to drop again. So you don't have the power now. At this point, I've started to pitch nose up because I'm getting ready to bring in that gear and put the burners on. So we'll leave it in the outside view and we'll see how close we get to these trees. So I could, go there. Could I make the runway? Yeah, better safe than dead. So just missing over the trees. We're still in a bad landing configuration here. And looking at the cockpit view from where I was, I'm now at less than 300 kilometers an hour. That's going to make me smash into the runway. So what I need to do is again add power, bring the gear up. So I'm adding power there, full burner, and then we're going to get away from the field. So burner up, and we're going to continue all the way around, and then make another landing. So looking back over our shoulder, we can see that the field is there, so we've escaped death for the moment. So yeah, we probably would have made the runway, but it would have been disastrous. So we'll continue around, we'll keep the speed about 400 kilometers an hour, we'll put the gear back out, and then make sure we can actually make a correct landing. So we've got to remember about that tower there. So as we're turning, we're maintaining that 400 kilometers an hour. We're not banking too hard, not banking too shallow. So we've got our flaps in the takeoff position. We've dropped gear again. So as we get round again, we'll drop it the flaps to the landing position. So looking over, we're parallel on the runway. We're just going to allow it to pass over our shoulder, and then we're going to start our left-hand turn inbound towards. There we go. And now it's a case of babying it in and not descending too shallow. So keep that speed about 400, and then we can execute the missed approach easy. So fast forward. As we come down, again, speed all the way through that turn. Speed 400 kilometers an hour, not letting it drop. Now, to sacrifice that speed, I didn't do a tight enough turn, so you'll see me here as I continue around. I'm going to roll all the way around past the runway, so I wanted to be rolling out there, but I need to keep that turn going. So the speed's dropping again, so I'm just watching that 350 is okay from where we are now. It's a much safer area than we were last time. So maintaining that speed, just making the little correction. There's the runway over there. And we're watching it for the tower. It'll pass by as there it goes. And then we're going to just line up for a gentle touchdown on the runway. Let's go outside so we can see if we actually execute our safe go around. So we're just watching it. We're just coming gently back on the power, letting the aircraft glide, letting it glide. There's the wheels touch, slightest bounce out with the parachute, and then inside we're going to be applying those little brakes there, dab 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 of the brake. And that's how we successfully do a go around. You put the power on because you know you're not going to make that landing. It's not an F-18, you can't thud it into the runway. This will break, it'll flip and it'll kill you. So if in doubt, go around, start again. 400 kilometers an hour is key. All the way around that turn we aborted, 400 kilometers an hour. If you get lower than about 350, just abort your landing, try again. I hope this video has helped with your MiG-21 landings, or it's going to help with your MiG-21 landings. Please drop in a like or a subscribe. Both would be perfect, thank you very much. Essentially the landing of the MiG-21 is a low-level fly pass that you actually make contact with the ground, so 400 kilometers all the way around like we said, and then as you get over the threshold you're about 350, a little bit slower, and then touchdown, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's it, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, Tactical Pascal, out!